In the wake of the deadliest hurricane in 35 years that knocked out the phone systems hampering rescue, emergency crews in the Carolinas are desperately deploying Starlink terminals to coordinate emergency responses and save lives. The kicker here is that these areas would have had fully operational communications. In fact, precisely 19,522 sites in North Carolina alone, but the FCC revoked a $1 billion grant to deploy Starlink to thousands of rural communities. In short, because they did not like Elon Musk, tens of thousands are desperate and dozens have died, perhaps with more to come. The story comes thanks to Natalie Daniloshin, and the background here is in 2021, the Biden administration rolled out $42.5 billion in grants to pay for rural broadband. It was part of the Build Back Better Act, which was renamed the Inflation Reduction Act since that polled better. 3 years later, not a single person is connected. $42.5 billion. In fact, they're saying nobody will be connected until at least 2026. Why is nobody connected? Because fiber optics providers lobbied to exclude Elon Musk's Starlink so they could feast on the roughly $4,000 per connection. Just imagine how much profit is in digging fiber optic across miles of mountains, forests, into the most remote pockets of wilderness. Sure, a Starlink terminal could do it for a couple $100. In fact, Elon was quoting $120 per connection. But why do that when you can dump 30 times more taxpayer dollars into obsolete fiber? Hilariously, in rejecting Starlink's application to do it for $130 the price, the FCC cited their, quote, responsibility to be a good steward of limited public funds. The Democrat FCC chair then went on to attack Starlink, accusing it of being a, quote, monopoly specifically because Elon managed to knock the price so low by doing the impossible, building a global constellation of satellites to provide worldwide cellular service that bypasses the trillions it would take digging fiber. Note the Kafka logic here: build a better mousetrap, a 30x better mousetrap, when nobody else can, and you are a monopolist, well, if you endorse Trump. To their credit, the Republicans on the FCC did support Starlink, criticizing the Biden-Harris administration for, quote, prioritizing its ideological goals at the expense of connecting Americans. Alas, they were outvoted. So beyond punishing millions of rural Americans to dunk on Elon, actually leaving them to die, why would the FCC's Democrats good steward $42.5 billion into oblivion? Simple: the Communications Workers of America, one of the biggest unions in the country that represents fiber installers and is one of the biggest donors to Democrats, giving at least $13 million per cycle between campaign contributions and political lobbying. So champagne for the socialist, boiling swamp water for the voters who pay for it. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. The good news is rural Americans will be getting broadband a lot faster in 2026 because they can buy it from Starlink. The bad news is you'll still have to pay $42.5 billion, so Verizon, AT&T, and the Communications Workers of America get to have nice things. One thing you can count on is come 2026, or maybe 2036 at this pace, when all those Alaskan cabins and vacation homes in Jackson Hole are finally wired up with obsolete fiber, the Democrats on the FCC and their pet oligarchs will be scrounging for their next $42.5 billion swindle. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.